How are you? I trust that you're well, despite the many challenges we're all facing. Yeah? Take heart. You're tougher than you think. A very warm welcome to our show today, where we tackle the ongoing drama, or shall I say ndlama, ni kama vindio. Very warm welcome. We're going to dig deeper into the latest development, where Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, the Wiper leader, presented himself for grilling, as we call it in Kenya, at the DCI. There's some very interesting things we're going to discuss. I guarantee you this is a show to look forward to. And yes, this is a popcorn show. Si ile popcorn nyingi kidogo tu. Now, I know you're all glued to what is unfolding in the US. I decided to take a break before I produce any more videos on this issue. But I recommend our Telegram page. Iko maneno hapo. I tell you. You can see a link to our Telegram page on your screens now. And it is repeated in the description area below. Karibu sana to this Kumekucha family forum. You're missing out. But I have a small request. Whatever your emotions are towards the US and what has happened, please stop and think and pray. Because we're in a very dangerous time. A time where we will be required to take sides. And you should not be caught on the wrong side. I care very much for all of you. Indeed, my family sometimes complains. You're married to your subscribers. You care so much for your Kumekucha people. And of course that's wrong. Family should come first. But I've confessed. So I care about you people. I wouldn't like somebody being caught on the wrong side, because it's not going to be good. So put your ego down. Stop and think. Consult spiritual people that you trust. Listen to what they have to say for your good. Please. Right. Let's get down to political business. Kwa hii show, moto kama pasi. Karibu sana. The nature of politics is that when hard-hitting statements against your opponent don't work, you move to the next level, which is political chess. Folks, I have reason to believe that the recent drama surrounding a man called Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is Team Keleweke moving to the level of political chess, because other things have failed to work against Team Tangatanga and the deputy president. Now, I know I usually lose a lot of people when I start talking about chess. Very few people have played the chess game. So let me simplify it further. Because the illustration I'm about to give is a perfect illustration of what the game of chess is all about. When we were kids, there's a game we used to play of trapping birds. We tried catapults, with stones to shoot the birds down. It didn't work. So our next level in this game was to trap the birds. And this is how we did it. We started by creating a trap. These were the old lids of Nairobi City Council dustbins. I'm sure very few people on this channel remember those dustbins, metal, that used to be distributed by the Nairobi City Council in the 70s. Anyway, they had a very heavy lid. So you simply put a stick to hold up the lid. And then you tie a string to that stick. And then you pull that string as far as possible, where you can still watch and have clear view of what is happening under that lid. And of course the idea is to get the bird under the lid and then quickly pull the stick. Then the heavy lid comes crashing down and trapping the bird. Simple. Now what we used to do is to look for maize, not popcorn. Maize. And then we would panga the maize, in a line, heading slowly towards the lid, the heavy Nairobi City Council lid. So what would happen is that a bird would come, eat the first maize, look around, all is clear, and so on and so forth until the maize led them right into the trap, and then would pull the stick. And in chess, before you shout checkmate, that is precisely what you're trying to do. And so if you've never played chess in your life, every time I say chess, just think of that game we played as kids. Unapanga mahindi na kuna trap. Anyway, let's now get into the politics na tupange mahindi. Imagine you're in Team Keleweke. And so you plan. You want to use Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And he doesn't mind anything to raise his profile ahead of the 2022 presidential elections. In fact, he's delighted that you have some use for him. So you plan that he's going to issue a hard-hitting statement exposing the corruption of the deputy president. And you say to yourself, hold on a minute, definitely the deputy president's team is going to respond. Hiyo ni mahindi moja. So what are we going to do after he responds? Kalonzo Musyoka will go to the DCI, for what we call in Kenya, grilling over how he acquired the Yatta piece of land. Hiyo ni mahindi ya pili. And after he does that, after he goes through the grilling, in quotes, he will emerge and the press will be there in large numbers, predictably. And then he will tell the press that is appealing to DP Ruto to do what he, Kalonzo, has done. Hiyo ni mahindi yengine, leading closer and closer to the trap. Now in our game in those days, we were very young, I think standard 3, standard 4. What used to happen is that as the bird got closer to the trap, it started being suspicious. It slowed down. It looked around more. And sometimes we would get impatient and we would emerge from where we've been hiding and the bird would fly away. Failed attempt. So at this stage, Team Keleweke know very well that DP Ruto is not going to respond and go straight to the DCI to be grilled. He can't afford to. And so, the next part of the plan is pressure on the deputy president. And you will have a brand new narrative. And that narrative will be, the deputy president cannot dare show his face at the DCI. Why not? Because he will not be able to answer the questions that will be posed to him about the countless scandals mentioned by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka in his statement. That should slow the wheelbarrow party considerably. And if on the other hand, he calls their bluff and goes to the DCI, bas, ameingia kwa mtego. You quickly pull the string and the heavy Nairobi City Council lid, dustbin lid, lands on the bird, trapped. Now, that illustration, I believe, very clearly exposes what is really going on here. The politics going on here. And this is typical between political opponents. They're always looking for a way to finish their political opponent. And that is normal all over the world. So far, the deputy president has avoided talking about the particular individual scandals mentioned by Kalonzo Musyoka. All he has said is that people are trying to provoke him. People are trying to frustrate his 2022 bid for the presidency. In other words, when that subject comes up, he changes the topic. Now I'm going to tell you something that will shock you. Have you ever tried to listen to ordinary Kenyans discussing politics? They have a very different way of thinking. And remember, they are the vast majority of voters. Now, just a few hours ago, this happened for real. I was in a place where this issue was being discussed because it was breaking news on TV. And this is what I heard people saying. Yeah, this class of people I'm talking about. Hao watu wanatafutia Ruto nini? Kama mtu anataka kwenda DCI, si aende. Kwa nini sasa anataka kulazimisha Ruto aende huko? Kufanya nini? Na hao watu wote ni wezi. That was one view. Another view. Kalonzo Musyoka hakuiba kitu. Yeye ni clean. Hiyo shamba ya Yata alipewa na Moi. He's clean. Na hata yeye si tajiri. Lakini angalia Ruto. Ruto ni tajiri sana. Amenyakua mashamba mengi sana. Hiyo ndio ukweli. Na kila mtu Kenya anajua. Kwa hivyo waachane na mtu wetu Kalonzo Musyoka. Yeye ana makosa. I'm sure you have noticed that these people have lost the plot. They're not discussing the main issue here. Everybody is defending their favorite presidential candidate. Period. They're not discussing bigger issues. Like, are we going to allow somebody who has so many scandals to vie for the presidency? They have not reached there. And I don't think they're going to reach there in the near future. I believe this is what the deputy president is banking on. He's banking on the fact that he knows how the man on the ground, the ordinary Kenyan, thinks and argues and their views on these issues. We Kenyans in the middle class, tumesoma kidogo, look at the whole thing very differently. And it is not easy at all to have our thinking and their thinking in sync. With all due respect to poverty-stricken Kenyans struggling. Indeed, it is not their fault. It is the fault of bad governance. And the truth is, the system is skewed. The middle class person, their child will be very well educated. They'll also be exposed, which is more important. But the poor Kenyan's child really starts with no chance, really, at the end of the day. So my sympathy is with them, so don't get me wrong. I'm just illustrating how the vast majority of voters in Kenya take these issues, how they see things, very different from how we see them. It is possible that the pressure from the middle class will spill over to the rest of Kenyans so that they see that we must deal with corruption head on. We must deal with ill-acquired wealth head on. We must not allow a candidate with scandals to vie for the presidency. It is possible that that kind of thinking may spill over to ordinary voters. But it's a long shot, in my view. And that is very sad for Kenya. I agree. But I also sense that Team Kileweke have some mahindi, which I've not seen. They have something in the baits are laying for the deputy president that are still hidden, that I have not seen, and maybe you too have not seen? If you have, please educate me in the comments area below. Yeah, I believe this is a very key issue for Kenyans. It must be a turning point for politics. Yeah, if we're going to leave behind a better Kenya for ancestors, our children, our grandchildren. Now, I suspect that the deputy president, in his defense, is going to expose the other political leaders who are currently behaving holier than thou. I don't know why I'm sensing that when the deputy president is cornered, that is the card he'll play. And the truth is, the deputy president has many avenues of exposing other politicians. For instance, he can use his team of bloggers, have them post incriminating evidence and documents on social media. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because one of the reasons why Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was used is because he is relatively clean. Yeah, that tactic can hardly work against him. And the idea is, if the deputy president resorts to exposing other prominent Team Keleweke personalities, he'll be told, no, deal with Kalonzo. Yeah, we have nothing to do with your fight. Yeah, why are you dragging us in? Deal with Kalonzo. And you and me know, knowing the deputy president, he is not likely to simply say, yes, sir, that's what I'm going to do. Pole, nimekanyaga mahali pabaya, nisamee, I will not expose you again. No, that's not the character of the deputy president. The deputy president, when he starts firing his guns, both barrels hot and busy, akwangi na breaks. Oh yes. In fact, this is his weakness. Yeah, but it could also be a strength. He puts emotions into what he's doing. Yeah, and he won't stop. He'll get carried away. You know, politics is a game of blackmail. Blackmail and information are critical in politics. And there are instances in the recent past where Team Keleweke have been stopped dead on their tracks by the deputy president, reminding them of some certain information and how that information can leak. Yeah, pop! Team Keleweke abandoned that offensive. Trust me, this is normal in politics all over the world. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's moral. No. But this is what happens in this dirty game called politics. So let's watch how this Kalonzo thing develops. It is going to be very interesting. And if people suddenly shut up, suddenly keep quiet, if this whole saga ends very suddenly, then you can almost be sure that the card that has been played is a card called Barua Nyeusi. Blackmail. Now, if you've enjoyed my video today, please remember to like, and please talk to your friends and subscribe. Yeah, there's a number we must reach very soon, and I'll be very grateful. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.